Hello students, we'll study about the subject web programming, code number 15CS52T for 5th semester computer science engineering diploma. In this subject, for your syllabus, there are 6 units. The unit 1, fundamentals and introduction to XHTML. We'll start with the unit 1. Rest of the subject will be covered in the next coming classes. I will go for the unit 1, fundamentals and introduction to XHTML. These are the syllabus portion for unit 1. There are basically two parts. One is fundamentals about the internet and related technologies. Next one is introduction to XHTML. Here we will not go through the entire details of XHTML. We'll concern only about the difference between HTML and XHTML. I will start with the first part, a brief introduction to Internet. In 1960s, United States Department of Defense's subsidiary, we will also call it DoD, Department of Defense, its subsidiary called as Advanced Research Project Agency (ARPA) funded the construction of a large-scale computer network. So this network was used to connect a dozen ARPA funded research laboratories at universities throughout the America, United States. And the main purpose for constructing this large scale network was military purpose. Since this network was funded by ARPA, this is called as ARPANET. As it was constructed mainly for military and it is confidential network, so most of the educational institutions were not connected to or not allowed to connect to this ARPANET. Only the research institutions and universities who are conducting or doing the ARPA funded research related to military or allowed to connect to this network. So because of this reason, a number of other independent networks were developed for general public, mainly for education institution, using the same technology used for ARPANET. There were many. Among them most popular were BitNet, CSNet and NSFNet. NSFNet became more popular among these three and its popularity has grown. Because of that reason, ARPANET, instead of extending its existing network, it utilizes the service of NSFNet for its non-military users. And also NSFNet providing a variety of services to wide variety of organizations using its network. So by 1992, NSFNet connected more than 1 million computers around the world. In 1995, a small part of NSFNet returned to being a research network. Actually, network was developed as a research network. Later, it is open to public. Then, in 1995, a small part of the network, NSF network, that is NSFNet, returned to a purely research-oriented network, and already existing the infrastructure of the NSFNet is open to general public. That means there was no control by a central body. It is open to all. So the rest of the NSF network what we are using today as the source of the root of the internet. So what we are calling now internet is actually the NSF network that is open to all. So now again we come to what is internet. So we studied about the history about internet. Internet basically a huge collection of computers connected in a communications network. So before developing the computer network, there was already communication network, that is telecommunication network, phone, telephones, satellite network, etc. With the help of these networks, computer networks that is spread around the world are connected. And the computers connected to internet are of all type of specification, all size, all type of configurations and developed by different manufacturers. There is no restriction about the type of the computer to be connected to internet. And even though these devices are communicating, and it is made possible by using the low level protocol. It's called as transmission control protocol bar internet protocol. So TCP bar IP. TCP bar IP is a standard protocol that is becomes standard protocol in 1982. Earlier to TCP, that is predecessor of TCP IP, there are many. After studying all the protocols, TCP IP became a standard protocol in 1982. In internet, every computer net are not directly connected to the internet. Usually, in one area, a local area is connected, made, and one of the computer or one of the node in that local network is physically connected to the internet. So that network may be in star network, bus network, or any type of the hybrid or mesh network. One node will be physically connected to internet, and that internet connection is shared with all other computers. So that means different type of networks are connected. So here comes to the definition of internet. So what is internet? Internet is actually a global network of computer networks and uses TCP/IP as the protocol for communication. So this is very important. Not a network of computer networks. It is a global network, and very important point here is TCP/IP. Just by making a network of computer network does not make it the internet. If that network uses TCP bar IP, then it will consider it as an internet, and it must be a global network. Internet protocol addresses, basically there are two types. Let's go for internet protocol version 4. IP version 4 address of a machine that is connected to internet is a unique 32-bit number. That means if any computer that is connected to internet, it will have assigned with a IP address version 4. We already studied about IP versions in the previous semesters. So here just is a brief recap. IP version 4 or IP addresses generally are usually written in dotted decimal notation, that is 4 8 bits in binary or in decimal numbers separated by periods. One example is given 192.168.0.1. This is a decimal notation, or if I write this number in binary, then it is a binary notations. Usually the small organization may be assigned with very few hundreds of IP addresses, whereas large organization may be assigned with millions of addresses. So to serve this, there are many types of classes are there in IP addresses, class A, class B, class A, and you already learnt in the previous semesters. IP version 4 has a limitation, let's say its number of addressable range is very short, considering the number of devices connected to internet. So to solve this, in late 1998, a new IP standard, IP version 6 Internet Protocol version 6 is approved, but it's still not widely used. As per the current survey, only 60% of today's internet devices are connected using IP version 6. That means even after 22 years, the migration from IP version 4 to IP version 6 not yet completed. The most significant change is in IP version 4 it is 4 bytes, that is 32 bits, whereas in IP version 6 it is 16 bytes, that's 128. So this is a change, that is migration from IP version 4 to IP version 6 is very essential because the existing range of the IP version 4 is already exhausted. As in the internet, there are millions of computers which are having unique IP addresses. So it will be very difficult for the people to remember all those numbers or IP addresses. To solve that, machines that the servers on the internet also have textual names which are very easy to remember it. And these names begin with the name of the host name or the computer which is mainly accessed through the internet. The names begin with the name of the host name followed by the domain name. Here domain is actually larger enclosing collection of machines of a particular organization. So for every organization, so there is one domain name and these domain names may have subdomains also. So host name, then domain name. So domains may have different level of hierarchy. There may be only one level or two level or three level. Usually there will be three levels will be there. The first domain name, which is the actual name of the host computer or host server, which is a part of the domain. So first domain name is the part of the second domain which is written right to it. So the second name gives the domain of which first domain is a part